What is going on, Debt Free Mafia? Hey, welcome to today's video. Chances are, if you're watching this video or you've searched it or found it, you are in a financial crisis, or maybe you don't feel quite like a crisis, but you feel like it's coming. First off, I want to tell you, I'm sorry. That is not fun. I've been there. If you're not familiar with my story, I've been over $1 million in debt. It was soul crushing. It felt like there was no hope, right? So what should you do right now? I'm about to talk about that, some strategy that I would recommend as a financial coach. Let me go ahead and jump into my introduction. Guys, if you don't know me, my name is Rick. I'm a financial coach. I'm the owner of the Debt Free Mafia. We exist here to help people better their financial situation and better their relationship with their money right now. We help people find peace with their finance. We help them become financially bulletproof. And we also help people have the mindset going forward of, hey, I'm going to crush it financially so I can be not a burden to people when I get older, but I can be a blessing to other people, including my children and my children's children. If that is you, hit the subscribe button. Recently, I polled all of my followers and I asked them, hey, does our content help you become a smarter financial user, or maybe not a user, but does our content help you become make better decisions with your finances? That got polled at 100%. Everybody said yes, this is content here. It helps me make better financial decisions. So that's what I want for you. So go ahead, hit subscribe, hit the like button just to help me, because that really just supports me. That's the way to say, hey, I support you helping people. Good way to do it. Anyways, let's jump into it. Okay, so we're talking here, there's financial crisis, you probably got bills due, you might have collectors calling, you might have just gotten a foreclosure notice on your home. There might be several different areas, or you know that there's big bills coming. Whatever it is, I totally understand. I've been there. So let's talk about what is the first thing you should do. First thing I want you to do is just take a deep breath and let you know it's gonna be okay, even though it doesn't feel like it, right? You're not gonna starve. There are options here. I'm talking about here in America. There are options for you to be able to make it. You're gonna make it. It's okay. I've been through a bankruptcy. It stinks, but it's okay. And I'm not saying that's something that you're going into right now or that's even on the horizon for you. I want to prevent that, but you're probably wanting to know, what are the next steps? What should I do to avoid this crisis, or at least make it as less painful as possible? There might be people here that are about to go through a divorce, or have lost a loved one, or again, like, there could be countless scenarios here, but I want to give you just my advice as a financial coach. What I would tell you, first off, I would go into crisis mode, right? We're not going to spend any extra money on any kind of luxuries, no vacations, no buying new cars, no big financial decisions need to be made for the time being, right? Stop with any of these kind of excess things. If you don't have a budget, now is a great time, right? You've probably already started thinking through, crunching all the numbers in your head. I want you to make a budget. I want you to go through every single thing. I want you to check on every single subscription that you have, and I want you to eliminate every subscription that you have that unless there's a few that you just can't go without. I don't want you to be sitting at home necessarily and not have anything to do and sitting there stressing. If you need to keep that Netflix subscription or Hulu, whatever it is, keep it. But let's eliminate all the others, BarkBox, maybe HelloFresh, anything like that that's just excessive. Let's eliminate that. Let's cut the grocery budget down to the bare minimum. We're not eating out anymore. Stop eating out. I know that sounds crazy, but we're not eating out anymore. We're going to be doing very inexpensive meals going forward. Chicken is not that expensive. It's a great source of protein. Also, rice is a very good source of protein. Chicken and rice, I know it sounds super bland and unsexy, but that's where we're at right now. We're just in survival mode. I want you to cut that way down. Also, I want you to really start evaluating some of your finances. Before you make this decision, I just want you to evaluate it. Basically, what I tell people whenever they have a big life change like what you might be going through, pause everything, cut your budget down to the bare bone, and start throwing every extra dollar that you have into a savings account, or have it cash somewhere if you need it. And basically start stockpiling money, because you just need to kind of wait for all the dust to settle and find out kind of what's going to happen. And then as you got that pile of money, then you can know if you're somebody who might need to buy a lawyer, you can buy a lawyer. Or if you need there's going to be a heap of medical bills, you can buy those medical bills. Or once everything starts to settle, maybe you need to start making a debt elimination plan. I'm a big fan of the Debt Snowball. I have videos on my channel. You can search it, Debt Snowball. I'll also link it as well if you want to know how you should start attacking your debt. First thing I want you to do is keep that emergency fund that you've started stockpiling. Don't keep it over 2,000 once all the dust settles. After all the dust settles, anything over 2,000, I want you to start throwing at your debt if that's something that's causing that. Also, if you're interested, there's also lots of different research sources on financial coaches. You can go. I know that there's financial coaches on Facebook. You can search and see if there's a financial coach in your area. Dave Ramsey has financial coaches if you like Dave Ramsey. And then also, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. If I can't help you, I can pinpoint you in the right direction to find good counsel. So those are some options. I think having a financial coach, I know some people think like, okay, well, I can't spend money because I'm going through a crisis. I get that. But that's kind of why we exist as financial coaches. We help people navigate crisis. For example, I have a client who recently went through a divorce, or she was in the process of going through the divorce, had no idea what to do. She looked at it as an investment. She wanted to talk through like, what do I have to do so I can be on the best side of money after all this stuff is done. I was able to make my suggestions. She's gotten really busy. She stopped and she sold a bunch of things. She trimmed her budget down to the bone. She took all that money that she made off of selling things around the house and paid off small debts, and that way she was able to free up a little more money in her budget because she wasn't having to make minimum payments on everything like she was before. So that's kind of part of crisis mode. I forgot to mention that earlier. If there's anything you can sell and it's not bolted down, sell it, right? We're in crisis mode. Unless it has some sort of major sentimental attachment to you, I would sell it. And if you need extra motivation there's a documentary on Netflix called Minimalism, Less is Now. That is very motivating. It also kind of helps you navigate being emotionally tied to certain things. So I would encourage you to go check that out if you haven't. But yeah, I'm so sorry that you're going through what you're going through. If you're watching this because you are going through a financial crisis or have one impending, you'll make it on the other side. You'll make it on the other side. I went through mine. Again, I told you, it felt like soul crushing debt just about. I hated it. And so, looking back now, it wasn't as bad as I originally thought it was, right? There's people that can help you. If you belong to a local church, a lot of local churches have some sort of help, or at least be able to give you some guidance on where to go. Some churches even have financial counselors if you go to a church that's that big. Also, talk to leadership, just tell them about that. That way, if you are a church or go to a church and are a believer in Jesus Christ, one of the number one things that we did was we spent a lot of time praying, right? And the Lord sustained us through all that stuff. So I can't encourage you enough. If that's somebody who you are, take advantage of that. But going forward, after we make it through this crisis, which it will end eventually, we want to make sure that we don't ever put ourselves in a bad spot again. We want to be really good at having our small emergency fund. We want to be good at creating a budget. We want to be good at having a debt payoff strategy, like the debt snowball to pay stuff off. Then after we get all our debt paid off, we want to make sure we got a big emergency fund for not if something bad happens in the future, because that's just the way we live in a broken world. Something bad is going to happen, so we want to make sure we have our 3 to 6 month emergency fund after that. And then after we get to that point, then that's when we get to worry about buying a house and being able to buying a house again potentially, or being able to invest and all that fun stuff. Another option also that you have on your if you're in a financial crisis is put your investments on pause. If you're contributing money to your employer's investments, that can free up just a little bit of cash. Also, be sure you can adjust your W-9. If you get big tax refunds, that's not a good thing. Don't get big tax refunds, because what that means is you're giving the government your money and they're borrowing it with no interest rate. They're not paying you any interest. So you won't want to pay anything on your taxes, but you also don't want to get a big refund, because that means that's money you could have been using to pay debt all along, or save, or whatever it is you need to do with your debt at the time. So hang in there. I am absolutely rooting for you. Let me know in the video or the comments below, what are some strategies that if you've gone through a crisis, what are some strategies that you've done to get through the crisis? Something that we did was we just stopped going out. We stopped going to movies. We said no to a lot of traveling. We said no to a lot of things. We just buckled down, used every dollar we could to start paying off debt. That way we didn't have to be in that situation ever again. So again, guys, I love you and I'm rooting for you. I hope everything gets better. Again, let me know in the comments below what it is that you did to get through your crisis if you haven't been in a crisis. So guys, appreciate you, and talk to you in the next one. Peace.